Good morning, everyone. So we've been working on breathing technique a little bit over the past week. So I thought today we would do a combination of just sort of random exercises, some from the Hunyuan Qigong and some from Gong. And that'll give you a chance to practice the breathing technique because both of these routines are nice and slow and will fit in, and I'll do them slowly so it will fit in. But here's some advice. Don't try to make anything happen. Don't try to make your breathing match the rhythm of the exercise. If anything, just sort of do it and let yourself breathe naturally and just watch yourself. And watch and see if you just naturally fall into a breathing rhythm that works well with that particular move. As time goes on and you get more comfortable with this, it's more a matter of adjusting your physical speed to your breathing than it is adjusting your breathing to your physical speed. You see what I mean? All right? Always breathe naturally. Never do anything artificial. Just ain't good for you. All right? There are some exercises where you can do some really purposeful deep breathing. But even that should be natural. But let's set those aside for right now and just get the basic idea down here. All right. So let's start with some Gong. I sort of do this and I don't even think about it, so I don't think to stop and say something, because this is going to have to be a teaching routine. When you do 3 big Taiji Qigong, that's really easy to synchronize your breathing with that because it's so big. All right? Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Right? And then just let it rest in neutral. And then again, breathe in and breathe out. Boom. So that one's easy because it's so big that, at least for me, it synchronizes with my breathing pattern really easily. I don't even think about it. But you'll notice there are 3 phases to your breathing pattern. They're not 2 phases, there are 3 phases. There's breathe in, there's breathe out, and then there's just rest. All right. Breathe in, breathe out, rest. Breathe in, breathe out, rest. Breathe in. So, now if you notice, one of the reasons that they do the Taiji Qigong exercises between every exercise is it's just the perfect pattern. So the in-breath does not start until you turn your palms toward your face and bring the chi into the 3rd eye. So it's just natural. Breathe in. Then as you sink the chi into the Dan Chen, breathe out and relax. Now you just stay in neutral. You don't breathe in or out. And again, breathe in. Breathe out. And I'm sure you've already found this. When you begin a Qigong session, you will be going too fast. You'll be breathing too fast, you'll be moving too fast, your mind will still be worrying with everything that you're worried about. You've got all this static inside you, and this static promotes movement. Only it's just sort of random movement. It's okay, it happens to everybody. But as you go along, usually within 5 or 10 minutes, it washes the static out and everything slows down, and that's what you want. Right? It's everything calms down. And when it calms down and gets quiet, it slows down. Neutral. Breathe in. Breathe out. Neutral. Breathe in. Breathe out. Neutral. Breathe in. Breathe out. All the way to the ground. So, I think I've gone through this before, but maybe this is a good time to do it too. How many people have ever ridden a horse before? You ridden a horse? Catherine, have you ever ridden a horse? Yes, you have ridden a horse. Especially if you've ridden one bareback. But even if you haven't ridden bareback, if you haven't ridden bareback, go out and rent a horse this afternoon and ride it bareback. When you're riding it, you feel the horse. This is a big, strong animal. And you can feel it underneath you. A good rider has learned to read the horse, and the movements of the rider, right, shifting of weight and moving back and forth in the saddle, is synchronized with what the horse is doing. So there's a communication between the rider and the horse. Your body is the horse. So when you do this, right, watch, I'm going to do this final circle incorrectly. And then I'm going to do it correctly. All right? Let me adjust the camera just a second. Incorrect. Correct. What did you see? What's the difference between the two? Kevin, what did you see? What's the difference between incorrect and correct?
Well, besides not hearing your breathing, it was mostly in your arms and shoulders. It wasn't the rest of your body, for one thing.
You mean the first one? Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. I'm just standing stiffly and I'm not paying any attention to anything. I'm just going through the outer motions. There's nothing happening inside. It would be like if I was riding a horse, it's like the horse is actually just standing still. The horse is not actually doing anything. All right? The second one, especially the sinking, but actually it's true of everything, is the horse. You can feel it. You can feel the horse open up. Open. Breathe in. Sink to the Dan Chin. Sink to the ground. And then you grow up again from the ground. It's alive. Everything in your body is moving. When a horse is galloping, what part of the horse is not galloping? No part of the horse is not galloping. Everything is galloping, right? It's the same when you do Qigong. Everything is doing the Qigong. Your mind, your energy, your body, and your spirit. Everything is doing it. So the way to encourage that is instead of focusing on your spirit, focus on your body. And what do I mean by um, focus on your body? Focus on the movement. Can you feel something moving through your body? Or you could say it's your body moving, all right? You can feel it. You've gathered this chi. You breathe it in, and you can feel it wash down through your body to your dantian, and then sink it down to the ground, and now come up through your ankles, your knees, your hips, your shoulders, your elbows, your fingertips. Boom. It's like a wave that goes through. And what you want to do in Qigong and in Tai Chi is always be aware of that wave. That's the Chi wave, right? Always be aware of that and just don't try to push it. Don't try to make it happen. Don't try to retard its motion. Just feel its motion. I'm sure you have all had this experience. You're at a dance, a public dance somewhere. You probably had this experience when you were in high school or college. You're at a dance, and some of the people, particularly guys, are really stiff. Wow, they're like blocks of wood. Some people, on the other hand, some people are really loose. What you want to be is really loose. You want to be in touch with your body. You don't want to be stiff is to be separated from your body. And it's caused by a mental block somewhere. Yes, Jill. Jill, you're from the Midwest like me. You know about stiff bodies, right?
Oh
From the
gosh.
Midwest.
Well, actually, I think what you just solved is why I never wanted to dance with a guy.
Well, it's understandable.
I just wanted to dance alone, do my own thing.
I totally understand, right? Kevin, you're from the Midwest too, so you probably recognize this. Um, Physical stiffness is a quality of Midwesternness, right? Particularly for guys. Okay, but this is a chance to feel, even if the motion is small, it can be very, very alive. Very gentle. But I'm still following, and I don't know whether you can hear my breathing pattern. I'm going to exaggerate it. I didn't think about it. I didn't try to make it happen. In fact, I wasn't even consciously aware of it until I got halfway through it and realized, oh, okay, this is an interesting breathing pattern. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. I didn't do that on purpose. It just happened. It just happened. Right? The world keeps turning. Nobody makes it turn. It just happens. Right? If I had been going really, really intensely, now it's just one cycle. Because if I tried to do 2 cycles, it would be too much. It's not natural anymore. I mean, I'm not trying to do one cycle. It just happens to be one cycle, right? One. Two. The one was comfortable, the two was comfortable. It depends on what you're doing. And you don't want to have to think about it and invent a new cycle. All you want to do is just pay attention to the flow of chi in your body and just let the breathing happen naturally. Jill, does this make sense?
Yeah, actually, I was earlier going to ask you the question because I feel like there's 2 cycles within. So,
It depends
uh,
on the,
it depends on the
it
energetic.
depends on the person. It
Mhm.
depends on the intensity with which you're doing the exercise. Sometimes it's really good. Wow, we're really intense, right? But but that's like 50,000 volts. You don't want to do 50,000 volts every time. Sometimes you just want to be really, really quiet. It's the same exercise. It's just one's 50,000 volts and the other's maybe about 20 volts or so, less than a desk lamp. And you just let the breathing happen. And occasionally kind of check in and see what's happening. And what you should find as time goes on is your body finds its own rhythms, its own breathing rhythm. As long as you're sticking to breathing in through the nose, out through the lips, it's hard for me to do because I'm talking most of the time, but I'll tell you 2 reasons that they want to, well, there's a bunch of reasons why they want you to breathe in through the nose and out through the lips. Uh, One is a lot, particularly northern China, gets really cold in the winter. And breathing in through your nose warms the air up a little bit. Maybe it's only a few degrees, but every little bit helps. All right. You, just like the Eskimo, you breathe in through the nose and you breathe out through the lips. All right. The the other Qigong related reason they want you to do it has to do with your microcosmic orbit. When you're breathing in and breathing out, you should be running your microcosmic orbit, right? Your microcosmic orbit runs from your tailbone up your back, over the top of the head, to the roof of your mouth. All right? That's the Du meridian. The Ren meridian runs from the tip of your tongue, all right, down to the root of your tongue, down the front of the body, and back to the tailbone. So, the one place that acts as a switch to turn the microcosmic orbit on or off is your tongue. When it's on the roof of your mouth, right, When it's on the roof of your mouth like this, the circuit is complete and the energy runs around the microcosmic orbit in a circle. All right? When you separate your tongue from the roof of your mouth, it breaks the circuit and the microcosmic orbit stops. Yes, Kevin.
I should know this, but why do you want to turn it on and off?
When you breathe out, you don't want to breathe out all the chi that you just brought in. All right? So if you breathe out through your nose, for instance, with your tongue still on the roof of your mouth, you're breathing out chi. Instead of breathing in chi, now you're breathing it out. So you're going to lose some chi. All right? Yeah, you breathe some in, you breathe some out. It doesn't really accomplish anything. What you're what you're trying to do is feed your body with chi, especially in the morning. All right? Bring chi into the body, and like I said the other day, you pack it in the body. Now I'm, doing packing motions here, but you just do it with your mind. All right? You bring it in and you fill the body. When I bring the chi in and breathe it in, everything it's like my whole body's a balloon. I'm blowing up the balloon, not just up here, but my feet too. Everything is blowing up with chi. All right? Now, you don't want to waste that and let it all out again. So you breathe in, and then you break the circuit. So you're breathing out without letting the chi escape. Kevin, is that clear? Okay, so it's a very simple idea. All right? Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. All the way down to the ground. Grab the earth again, all right? So you probably notice, if you're paying attention to your own breathing, that it's very natural for your exhale to be longer than your inhale. Why is that? I'm not trying to make it happen, it just happens, and it does happen for most people. So let's say your inhale is to the count of 4. It doesn't have to be 4, it can be anything, but let's just say it's 4. All right? Your exhale will probably be to 6 or 8. All right? So count for me. 1, and now it's almost double. Why? It just has to do with the way your body is built, the way your body works. But it's interesting to note that when you breathe in, you think, well, somehow I'm breathing air in. Well, how are you breathing air in? What do you mean you're breathing air in? How? You feel it up here, but that's not what's doing it. What's doing it is down here. All right? So the diaphragm here sinks. All right? The diaphragm here does the same thing, only in the opposite direction. So you have one diaphragm here, and they both go like this. And that creates a vacuum, and it pulls it in. So you feel it here, you notice it here, but it's not your nose or your mouth or your throat that's making it happen. It's this that's making it happen, right? And that, when you do that, you can do it if you've done any kind of sports where you really do some aerobic work. wow, you can breathe in, you can fill your body with air almost instantly, right? But the exhale's longer. Why? Um, because for right, here's the inhale. The exhale is a relaxation. The inhale, you're tensing muscles, and it's by tensing those muscles that they go down. When you exhale, you just relax the muscles. You don't tense them, you relax them. And tensing something, you happen really quick. Relaxing something takes a few seconds longer. Right? Tense. Relax. Tense. Relax. It's that simple. It just has to do with the way your body works. So, you don't ever want to mess around with that cycle and try to make it do something. Just let it do what it's going to do. Let your body do what it's going to do. Your body is smarter about your body than you are. So just let your body do what it wants to do. And just like when you ride a horse, it's like giving the horse its head. Do you know what that means, Jill? When you give a horse its head, you let the horse go where it wants to go. Give it its head. Don't direct it. Every second I have to be directing this horse. No, just ride the horse. Let the horse run. Let it go where it wants to go. Right? That's called giving the horse its head. Right? So give your body its head. Let your body set the pace on this stuff. And watch it and learn to work with it naturally over time and become a good rider. Right? Then it becomes a kind of mixture of the horse doing what it wants to do and you helping to direct the horse too as time goes on. All right? Let's go back to this first little exercise that we started. Okay, what do you notice about that exercise in light of everything we just said? Catherine, what do you notice about doing these very tiny little circles?
In terms of my breathing, um, I breathe in one move and then I breathe out the other.
Yeah, that's a very common way.
And I can feel like a circular motion between the
Yeah,
two movements.
yeah, yes. Now, if you actually focus on it consciously, this move is harder to do than the big move
Yeah, it is. Because it's
because
smaller.
it's
It's a small,
smaller. Right?
it's a very
So,
small movement inside within me. So yeah, it is
yeah.
definitely.
So what happens? I'm going to exaggerate here. You do these little moves, and if you try to maintain a certain um, pattern that you're laying on top of the thing, so you're doing it mechanically, you're going to hyperventilate. You can't do that.
But not if you slow down.
Exactly. Exactly. So, right? You just slow down. And as Catherine was saying, you may develop a pattern that is every other motion. Right? Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in with the right. Breathe out with the left. Maybe. All right? But remember, let your body establish the pattern. Work back and forth with the pattern and go, okay, I'm going too fast. This is uncomfortable. So slow down. Oh, maybe that's uncomfortable even at that speed. Slow down even more. Now, since I've been talking and doing all that, I'm actually a little short of breath. Because as Annie says, I talk too loud in these classes. I'm just used to talking really loud. So I get a little more out of breath than if I was just standing and meditating. So I can do a single. My body just does it naturally. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Neutral, neutral, neutral. Breathe in. Breathe out. Yeah, Kevin.
Any correlation with the in out and whether you're left or right-handed?
Not that I know of, but then I'm right-handed. I have not really thought about it. So there is a difference, so they say, between right and left-handed people. If you're right-handed, the left side of the brain is controlling that. If you're left-handed, the right side of the brain is controlling that. And the left and the right side of the brain are not exact mirror images. The left side has certain talents and the right side has certain talents. They say the left side is a little better with language and mathematics, and the right side is a little better spatially and with patterns. So if you're left-handed naturally and you're comfortable with that, you might conceivably have some kind of advantage with Qigong and Tai Chi and things like breathing techniques, because your body pays a little bit more attention to space and to patterns within space. But that's just theory.
Yeah, but when you're doing the exercise, you're breathing in and out based on what your right arm is doing and your right side.
For me, yeah.
I haven't done it enough I'm going to look at it next time to see if I'm concentrating on the left side.
Yeah, exactly. You just pay attention. And I'll emphasize again, don't make anything happen. What you eventually want to get to is the point where you and the horse become one. There's no separation between you and the horse. Another way to say it is, instead of you breathing, the breathing does you. All right? It just is so natural. You never think about it. You just let it happen. And I can tell you another aspect of this, so you can check in yourself when you do this. You know, we go from one move like this, and then we'll do 3 of these, and then we'll do another bigger move, right? So you have these transitions between one regime and another regime. And during the transition, your breathing will be chaotic. It's just going to be whatever it's going to be. If you're trying to control it, those transitions will become uncomfortable. Because it's like driving along at 20 miles an hour, and suddenly your driving instructor says, okay, go 60 miles an hour. Right? Oh, and then you go drive at 60 miles an hour for a while, and he goes, okay, now come to a complete stop. Those transitions are difficult for the mind. So you just let your body do it, and listen to your body. Listen and learn. In fact, let's do a bigger one here, all right? Now, because I was talking so loudly and everything, I was a tiny bit out of breath. When I began this, before I said, you don't start your inhale until you turn your hands toward your body and bring things in. Boop, boop, boop. That's a nice rule. But the truth is, in real life, you don't live by the rules. The rules are just guidelines. Right? Because, listen to this, watch. Because I was a little bit out of breath, I started breathing in here. It just happened. That's what I mean by don't try to control it. Don't go, okay, well I'm in the neutral phase, so I stay neutral and then I breathe in. No, don't do that. Just be natural. Even the business about breathing in through your nose and breathing out through your lips. Don't make it into a biblical injunction. This is not one of the 10 commandments. It's just kind of a general guideline. The truth is, if I watch myself, lots of times I don't do that. It's okay. It's more important just to be natural and to be comfortable. Huh? Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Okay, so in this exercise, it's kind of like you're working with a two-stroke engine, right? The first stroke is the stroke where you pack the body. Watch, and I'll see if I can find some videos of Master Feng for next week. Watch him packing his body. He blows up like a frog or something, right? Watch. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in, very small. Breathe out, very small. Breathe in, big. Pack it everywhere, every joint, every muscle, all under your skin, everything's blowing up. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Now I hope you can see when I breathe out, all that stuff that you packed in, you got to leave there, but you have to let go of the breath, all right? And not just from here, but from the whole body. Yeah, Kevin.
So another thing, just pick it. Today you talked about just then when you're doing the small breathe in, breathe out as you're warming up. I was using that as the dead time, and I'm like, how in the hell can I hold my breath this long?
Exactly. That's exactly what I mean about the difference between doing something mechanically or artificially and just doing it naturally. Just let your body do what it wants to do and watch it. It's sort of like you're riding the horse, so you have to establish a relationship with the horse. And so you have to watch for its peculiarities and what its gait is and what it wants to do and work with that horse because that horse is different from that horse. You can't if you're doing it mechanically or artificially, it's like being a tyrant. You must do it this way and I will punish you if you don't. And Kevin, what happens when you do it artificially?
Well, it doesn't feel good, that's for sure.
No, it doesn't feel good. Is it relaxing? No, it's not relaxing. Not only is it not relaxing, but your breath work itself will get screwed up and you will not be comfortable. You won't have the oxygen you need to do things. Now, when you go to, if you've established a bad pattern of breathing, and then you go to Tai Chi. If your breath work is not natural, it won't support you because there's so much more going on than these simple Qigong movements. So, Kevin, that is a perfect example of what I mean by don't do it artificially. Just do it naturally. And there's a learning process that everybody goes through. This is a perfect example of it. Right? This one's easy. Right? Oh, man, everything blows up. Oh, and then release. But now you've got all this work here. What are you doing with this work? If you just try to hold your breath, you're going to get really uncomfortable. All right? So one of the things that you have to do is figure out what are you doing with each of these movements. There's this particular exercise all exercises are cycles. And this one I said is like a 2-cycle engine. It's 1 2 1 2 1 2. Watch. 1 2. 1 2. 1. All right, what are you doing? I told you what you're doing with the 1. You're packing chi into the body. What are you doing with 2? Watch me do it. Huh? What am I doing? Yeah, Kevin.
Mixing your chi.
Yes. You're mixing. Gather. Mix. Gather. Mix. All right, what does it mean to mix?
Mix different chi.
You're,
Chi from the sky, chi from the earth.
yes, that's absolutely true. So it actually means several things at once. One thing that Catherine just noted is you're gathering yang qi from heaven and conceivably some yin qi from earth. You're mixing yin and yang. The second thing is you're gathering new qi and you're bringing it into your body that's already full of old qi. So you got to mix the old and the new. You're mixing the old and the new, the left and the right, the upper and the lower, the inner and the outer, the yin and the yang. You're just mixing everything together. Master Zhang used to say, and he would tell this story in Chinese, and then the Chinese guys would translate for us. He said, it's like when you come to my house for a party, and Mrs. Zhang makes Chinese dumplings. You get a big bowl, and you put rice flour in it, right? That's yang. And then you put water in it, that's yin. And then you mix them up together. That's Qigong. All right? So, yang and yin, and now mix, and gather more. The other exercise we do, this exercise is a lot about yang energy, so it's cosmic sky energy. Remember the other exercise we do in the Hunyan series. Yang Qi from heaven. You're gathering Yang Qi. Could you see how my whole body blew up? And now I'm going to gather Yin Qi from earth. Right? So you usually try to keep those things balanced. That exercise in China is often done yang, yang, yang 9 times, and then yin, yin, yin 9 times. And that's fine. You can do it that way. I like to do them both in a single cycle. Just sort of keeps things a little more balanced in me. Okay, so that was a good session. Hopefully that'll steer you in the right direction. Just be natural, be comfortable. You know what Master Zhang used to say? I only, in almost 30 years of working with him, I only heard him say this once. All right? He asked us a question. He said, do you know how I judge your Tai Chi or your Qigong? Jill, do you know how I judge your Tai Chi when I watch you?
If it makes you feel good.
Yes. If you make my body feel comfortable and good, then that's good Tai Chi, all right? So you just, your own comfort and enjoyment of this is the thing you want to look for. Okay, guys, let's take 15 minutes and then we'll do the Tai Chi class, all right? 15 minutes, so 10 after the hour.